Good evening, guys. It's me, Simone, dating myself, part 8, and boy, has time flown. Like, I've been so busy, I've not even had a chance to do another video. We've done so many little, subtopics and stuff, but today I want to talk about validation. I've got to talk the truth, so here we go. So I was talking to someone today actually, and I was saying about how we seek validation, and we do it via relationships. We try to do it by having a man validate us, and some people be like, oh no, I don't need no one to validate me. But you see, the way the world is, the system is set up that by default you become like someone that seeks validation. Don't know, I got too much of the juice already, but yeah. And that is because we post things on Facebook, Snapchat, all social media things, and there's always like a feedback, there's comments, there's likes, there's, now that Facebook is upgraded, you can now do love, haha, angry, like you can really express how you feel about someone, how you can feel about someone's videos. And I thought, wow, it really just got me thinking, wow and wow again. Why do we seek validation outside of oneself or outside of your creator? Now, when I say that, the Bible talks very clearly, and I'm very aware that everyone doesn't subscribe to the same faith as me, and I accept that. But you can pick sense from nonsense, whatever you want to do. But the Bible speaks clearly. It says the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So if you think about it, if your partner is the person that validates you, it's almost like they hold your thermostat then. So they do the hot, they do the cold. They decide if you're happy, they decide if you're sad. Now, this might not be knowingly, and this person may not even be doing it necessarily knowingly. But if that's the case, you're toing and throwing with this person. So it's almost like you are the double-minded man that the Bible speaks of. And then you are going to be uncertain and unstable in your ways. But then if you seek your validation from he that created you first, then from yourself, it's very hard for someone then to come in and hold and control that thermostat. Because if God's got your thermostat and you are allowing God to have your thermostat, and you know that you know something, okay, not saying that you won't be in a relationship and go through issues. Of course, we all go through issues in our relationship. But for someone to hold your thermostat, do you know how much that is? Like, I've spoken, and I'm sure it's quite clear. Like, I was in a relationship before that person pretty much controlled how I felt. I was up, I was down, I was indifferent. There'd be times where I would try not to argue with the particular person. Like, they might be arguing about something, and I would be like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just try this keep my mouth shut thing, and hopefully they'll be quiet after I keep my mouth shut. But you know what, it didn't work. Because if someone is so intent and set on engaging you in negativity, they actually will do that. So you got to let God validate you, and then you validate yourself in the word of God and what God says about you and who you are created to be. Because we struggle with the word of God, because the word of God says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. If you really genuinely believed you were fearfully and wonderfully made, you wouldn't accept rubbish. You would not accept anything less than what you deserve. Because if we are saying we are kings and queens, let's just use it on this. Let's use it on a let's think of the royal family currently that sits and presides over England. Doesn't matter if you're not a royalist. Doesn't matter if you believe or you do not believe. That's the thing about royalty and regalness. It doesn't require anybody else to believe it, because it is so. You understand me? And that's like God. He doesn't care if you believe or do not believe in him, because fundamentally he's God. He doesn't need us to believe. Therefore, that validates his godliness. So let's talk about the royal family that live up at Buckingham Palace. If you or I, normal Joe Smo, wanted to date William or Harry, what do you think would happen? Do you think they would be happy for us to date them? No, they wouldn't. Because as far as they're concerned, they're royalty and we are what they would maybe class as the commoners, yeah? So, okay, if that's what we're dealing with, and I believe we are the true kings and queens. But I don't care about whatever the royal family believes. I believe we are true kings and queens. We are from a royal priesthood, okay? So me as a queen, if Harry or William cannot just date any commoner, why would I as a queen want to date any commoner? Now that is not me being disrespectful, but if a man is not maneuvering as a king, he doesn't deserve to have a queen. If a woman's not maneuvering like a queen, she doesn't deserve a king. I've not always been a queen. Or no, I scrap that. I've always been a queen. I've not always behaved as a queen. There's been many times my crown has slipped. But I tell you something now, this crown is so firmly on this head, it's unbelievable. It is only a king that can approach me now. And I tell you something now, that's not talking about finances now. This is about self-knowing, self-validation. Knowing from yourself, knowing who you are, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And if you believe that, you walk in that greatness. And that is what I'm doing. So dating myself is not necessarily, oh, I hate men. No, it's not. As I said from day one, I do not hate men. I love men. I've said that from day one. I'll never change that. I love them. You know, some women, they go in relationships and it breaks down, then they get bitter. I don't have time to do bitter. I do better. I don't do bitter. I only do better. And that is what you need to do. That is what we need to do. And as hard as it might seem and as painful as it might be, you just got to strive for excellence. You've literally just got to strive for excellence in every area of your life, in your finances, in your physical, your mental, your social. Strive for excellence. You have to be selective. So me, I'm a queen. Queens don't just sit down and talk to any and anybody. Any and anybody can't phone my phone and engage me. And I have to be honest with you, I've kind of slipped on that a little bit lately. And, you know, I've allowed people to sip the juice. I mean, I talk the truth. I've allowed people who wouldn't necessarily be invited into my social circle to enter into that social circle. But it's okay. That happens at times. Sometimes we slip. But, you know, you just pick yourself right back up and say, nearly. You know, you put that, you might, nearly. So like I said, we cannot be like the double-minded man that is unstable in all his ways. We have to be stable in every single area of our life. So if you are a king and if you are a queen, you have to maneuver like one. I'm sick of seeing things on Facebook. Like, you know what one really annoys me? Relationship goals. How do you look at a picture and have relationship goals? How do you look at someone who appears to be happy and want to strive to achieve that? Do you know what utter madness that sounds like to me? Relationship goals. A man wearing a pair of red bottoms, a girl's wearing a pair of red bottoms. Relationship goals. You don't even know if they've got food in their house. You don't even know if that man's beating out her skin. You don't even know if she's just smiling for the cameras. Stop that crap with relationship goals. No. Your relationship goals is what you set. You set your non-negotiables. It's not about a picture of what appears to be a happy family. Okay, we can all post amazing things on Facebook and try and look like we're happy, but are we happy? So we need to get into a place of self-validation. And I have and sometimes do struggle with this one. You know, sometimes like now I'm doing my self-love spa weekend. You know, if this was a few years ago, I might be like, oh, so-and-so hasn't booked and so-and-so hasn't booked. But I'm now in a place that I realise that actually who's to come will be there. You know, and that's it. And that's my validation. And I know what I'm doing in accordance to the word. In accordance to the word of God. I don't know why the video cut out. I'm in the dark now. But anyway, dating myself. It's amazing, guys. Validate yourself. Self-love is great love. Have a great time. Have a good evening, in fact. Take care. Bye.